Hari Om. So today we will contemplate on Dhyana Yoga, verse 647. Yoginām api sarveṣhāṁ mad-gatenāntar-ātmanā śhraddhā-vān bhajate yo mam same yukta-tamo mataḥ. Of all yogis, those whose minds are always absorbed in me and who engage in devotion to me with great faith, them I consider to be the highest of all. Yoginām, of all yogis, api, however, sarveṣhāṁ, all types of mad-gatena, absorbed in me, antaḥ, inner, ātmanā, with the mind, śhraddhā-vān, with great faith, bhajate, engage in devotion, ya, who, mam, to me, sa, he, may, by me, yukta-tamaḥ, the highest yogi, mataḥ, is considered. Okay. He has given the secret. I will start with Santoshi.
Yes. See, in the shloka, what Krishna says is about who, with total faith and dedication, with full-heartedness, who relay and who always devote the self, the supreme self. He is the one of the he is the greatest and he is a supreme, and that's what Krishna talks about here. When we say Shresht, maybe is a Shrestha, how can I put it? When so he's not a Shresthavan, we can say, right? I mean, what do you say in English?
From ISKCON, I learned that word.
And
what is that?
Ishaji?
Supreme Godhead, I guess they say. Krishna is Supreme God, above all loka, sitting on top.
Yeah, that is Krishna. But here Krishna is saying about someone.
Krishna itself says that the Supreme Self, who always be in that, who is always in the self, right? That Supreme Self will always be considered as a greatest from yogis. This is what I can say.
Okay, that is the meaning. So what is your takeaway?
See, my takeaway here is, whenever whatever the work we do, wherever we are, and whatever we do, when we keep our, when we are in awareness with the self, and whatever we do, might be a karma yoga, in the action oriented day-to-day activities, when you are with the awareness in the self, that is what that particular you will be in the self always, which means to say you have that yogic knowledge, and you are that where Krishna loves him more, something like that. Which in turn, whenever whatever the work we do, surrender to him, and whatever the jnani or whoever we say, who is always, his concentration is on that supreme self, and whatever the work he do is surrender to him. Whatever he do, he sees that supreme self itself. In that way, he is the he is a jnani, or he's a person who individually considered as a shrestha, or a great one. And in this way, what we can do is, whenever whatever the work we do, I mean, with arpana bhava, in seva bhava, I mean, it's not me, it's only you. I mean, whenever we start our daily work, right, it's not me, it's you, and it's all about, it's you that who is guiding, it's you who is doing, it's not me. I mean, in that surrenderness, if we do, might be, there is no claiming itself. So what happened is, I just wanted to share one example here. Last week, what happened, right? There was one-on-one with my Apple manager. And she was actually asking me, hey, one person is on leave. how will you go for it? He said, no, it's not. We are not dependent on anybody. It's not me or you. The thing should move on. So she took this word. I mean, it's not that, there is nobody to claim. We are working on that. We are not a claimer. We are not a doer. It's only that supreme power which is driving through us. So she has taken this word to the management people, and I see this guy is, talking like this, and I'm so impressed because it's been 8 months I'm being with this project, and I see a lot of proactiveness in him. And next day, our management people called me and, hey, the Apple manager appreciating you. Here also, I'm not claiming that, whenever there is a appreciation, next depreciation will come. It's again a coin of both the sides. In that way, I'm not a claimer. I'm not doing anything. He is driving. Okay, let it be. Accept it. That's it. In that way, I'm just going on. Is one example what I got in this week. I start out to share.
Okay, very good. Krishna ji.
So I personally interpreted like, so here Krishna is talking about consistent, being always observed in me, right? Being consistent and have that faith, be in every action, right? So that's what he's talking about. Engage in devotion to me with the great faith. So consistency with always in consciousness and non-doership and with the faith. So that is considered as the highest of all. So any work, it's like even I don't do consistently, but I can see a progress whenever there is uh, out of which is not in the path. When I don't go, like I recollect and being inconsistent and having that faith of like I'm non-doership. I'm here to do my prescribed duty and not attached to the results, right? So that's what. So that is to be highest one. So consistency and faith with devotion is highest form. That's how I'm seeing this.
Hmm. Okay. Isha ji, would you like to go now?
Yes, Sarvananji. Most of the things I think Santosh ji and Krishna ji has covered. But here I just heard the story recently, like 2 days or something like that. See, when Krishna was born, he was the 8th child, right? So Kamsa did hear that Krishna, you'll be killed by the 8th child, and we know the story where he put Vasudeva and Devaki in the prison, all that. So actually Vasudeva tells to Kamsa, no, don't kill. He actually wanted to kill his sister right away. He said, don't kill the sister because she's not going to do anything. It is the children. So whenever I get a child, I'll come and give it to you. So and Kamsa believes in Vasudeva's word because he is a wise man who keeps his words. So the first child was born. He took it religiously to Kamsa and he gave it to him. He said, as per my promise, I'm giving it to you. So he has been doing it. So there are also things, if God is going to come, even he heard that, right? If Krishna is going to come as 8th child and kill Kamsa, this is something which is inevitable. It will happen. So feeling the pain of the 7 children, he will go and give it with lots of love and devotion. One, he's keeping up his promise. Second, he is also in the path of, only if 7 are going will the 8th one come. So he is doing it with full devotion, saying Krishna is going to appear, or some God is going to come here. So that's the Vasudeva follows. For that's I feel this thing is that when you're doing something, the pain or whether it's happiness, you it as both are blessings itself. There is no curse in the pain which you will get by rendering service to God or by being a yogi. So for a material world, it looks like a pain. Usually we have that feeling, when we see some somebody who's like properly spiritual and everything, if they are suffering, then we as an outside world, we are they are in pain. We'll say that, so much they do and they are still in pain. So what is God doing? Why seeing? But maybe it is for, even when I saw the episodes of that, I used to feel so sad, taking off the small children and giving it off to be killed. But I don't think so. It is a pain when you're doing it with devotion. So I feel that's what being conveyed here.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe like one question then to open to all is like he is saying of all yogis. Is there a clue there? Why is he saying of all yogis? Who are these yogis he is referring to?
See,
Santoshi.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
For me, I feel it's small or big. If you, I think last class, we learned that none of the serving that you do, it will not go for waste. You will carry it. I guess we did it in last class only, Yeah. So when he says yogi, there is no measurement of yogi, I feel. You cannot say somebody is like 80 years. Somebody would have started at 80. I in another class where I have a person who's 91-year-old. That interest he shows to learn it now. See, now maybe just now. And then I have my child who started off, when he was 8, 9. So it is all, each one's path is different, right? You cannot, I feel so when he says all yogi, it is everybody. It doesn't matter when did they start. But yeah, start doing it, the devotion matters.
Okay. Santoshi?
No. What I meant to say is when what refers to yogi in the sense, whoever the sadhaka who was in the path of attaining the jnana for moksha is called yogi. As and then he keeps on grooming in this path of spirituality. He's called yogi. Not necessarily somebody who goes to forest and sit and do. No. According to we had that assumption before we come to our Guruji. Now we can proclaim ourselves, yes, we are yogis. We are on the path of, we are following that path and we are on that path.
Okay.
Thank you.
Krishnaji, would you like to add? Or?
Yeah, I also had similar opinion. Like it's like the following of the previous shloka. So it gives the fruit like when.
Yeah. We cannot hear you, Krishnaji. Yes, he's having audio issues. Okay.
Listen.
Krishnaji, we couldn't hear you. Okay, maybe we will move on to Shubhaji and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Shubhaji, yeah.
This shloka talks about the bhakti yoga also. When we look at the bhakti part of it, Krishna is saying that even if you do bhakti towards me, for example, the picture shown is of Tyagaraja, who was into all sorts of singing praises about Rama, and he had a lot of bhakti towards Rama, that he wrote only most of the songs about Rama, and he was always engrossed in Rama, and he would sing only for Rama. In one of the cases when the king wanted him to sing for his glory, he said, no, I can sing only for Rama. Other than that, I cannot sing for anybody else. So that is the amount of bhakti each person has. Even for us, it is a message that if we have the bhakti towards him, there is nothing that we can't do in life. So everything is only bhakti. So through bhakti, we can achieve everything. In the sense, the ultimate jnana. Through bhakti, we can achieve is what Krishna is trying to tell us here. Even in the Bhagavatam, it says in Kali Yuga, bhakti is the ultimate path to freedom.
Thank you. Thank you, Shubhaji.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, as I was going through this meaning, so I was just wondering, of all yogis, like we are aware of karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, right? So is it, so to me, like if you take jnana yoga, it requires someone to find a guru, and to learn the scriptures, use the logical mind to understand the whole thing, to be able to learn the truth and finally attain moksha, right? So it looks like um, a very not so easy path, I would say, and may not appeal to everyone, and like shouldn't look like, you know what, everyone has to go through this learning system, learn all to attain God, right? And karma yoga, I had heard in one of the lectures, though we talk about um, doing the work with the intent. The intent should be as a offering to the God. And there also they say that the right karma requires uh, uh, the action being done at the right time by the right person, and so it is very difficult to. It's not so easy for a right karma to happen, and again. So the karma focuses more on rituals, and uh, it's sometimes trying to do the rituals, one may get into the rituals and get more into the rituals, right? And that itself can tie as well. While bhakti, I feel, uh, is the simplest, natural to all, because it's all about that feeling, something that we all um, from birth have, from the love for the mother, and right, it's, and that feeling is always there. It's like my parent, my child, that love comes, uh, and it doesn't require someone to teach, like jnana, or like karma, like how to do. It's the pure love is like very natural, and I feel uh, when it comes to the to God, it shows as the devotion, where like the intense devotion basically leads to surrender, and with surrender, basically uh, the oneness happens very naturally. And I feel that's why um, he, he's saying that to consider that yogi, who is like engaged in devotion with great faith, to be the highest of all. It's not about the pandit who knows more, or the karma yogi, like who's doing all the thing in the right way all the time, um, um, without like uh, basically it requires uh, dissolving in the action. You even trying to be conscious and trying to do a karma as offering, I feel like introduces that duality. That person is consciously trying to do, while it has to become very natural. While bhakti, I feel it's very natural, and is the highest. That's why uh, most of, even I feel like most of us start with temple, with prayers, God, rituals, right? It is the one that appeals mostly to all. That's my take here. With that, I will give to Vijayji.
Thank you, Saranji. Can I please share my screen?
Yeah.
So, what is this, keeping the mind absorbed in the Lord? Or what is this about keeping the mind absorbed with? Those of you who have been mothers, you know this feeling very well. When you're given the birth and the baby is really young, wherever you may be, somewhere the baby, what it is doing, whether the baby is crying, whether the baby is calling me, you are aware of it. Among all other kinds of sounds, you are able to tune into that sound, and only you know, okay, my baby is calling me. So how does that happen? It happens just because you have, in a way, have given whatever you feel as your utmost attention, your utmost love and care for that other being. At that point in time, you're not really concerned about you. You're more concerned about that other baby, that other being. It is another thing that, usually it is demonstrated with only so-called biological child. That's a separate topic. However, that's the quality of where I am not so much involved in my own thinking, for me kind of a feeling, but I am offering my attention, my mind space to the other being. So let's just look at another story that all of you may also know. This is the story from Sant Tulsidas. So he was apparently so infatuated with his wife that once when she was in her maike, in her mother's place, that night he wanted to go and be with her, and it was raining heavily apparently, and he had to cross a river, and he did all that. And it also said that in that story, it is also said that when he was crossing the river, apparently there was a dead body floating in the river, and knowing fully well it's a dead body, but he held on to it so that he could cross over. So what was in his mind? I want to be with my wife. And with all that rain and river, and even ignoring the grossness of the dead body, all of that, he comes to her. And that's a moment of transformation for him. At that moment, she says, if only you had paid similar attention to Rama, by now you would be completely liberated. Sometimes in life, these sounds are very ordinary sounds. If only you do. So many times we hear that, no? We hear it from our husband, our wife, our children. Whenever we are arguing, if only you're something else. We keep on saying that. But somewhere on that day, he was ready. And that touched him deeply, and his life transformed. And Sant Tulsidas was born. Suddenly, something in him moved. So, what is this highest meditation then? What is this highest meditation or dhyana that Sri Krishna is prompting you and me to focus on? See, for example, when you and I are meditating, when we say I am meditating on God, or I am, so I am doing the puja to God, the sense that I and God are two different beings, and I am here to do some puja, or I am closing my eyes and I'm meditating on God, is also okay. It also helps, but it is not the highest. Ramana Maharshi says, when you're meditating on the form of the God, see God in your heart. Divine is my true self. So this is the highest of the dhyanas. When you're meditating on the God, God is not somebody out there. God is not something that is separate from you. God is your inner essence. So knowing that my true essence is that divine only is the first step in the highest of the meditation. Then when you are acting in the world, so the previous one is when you are closing your eyes or when you're doing your puja or the so-called one-on-one with God. We all have the one-on-one, no? So the one-on-one with the God. So when you are in the one-on-one with the God, generally, Ayo Deva, there's a funny thing, no? So you ask anybody, where is God? They all point up, right? They point up and say, God is up there. Okay, so if God is up there, so you are in India, you are in one hemisphere, people in Australia are in another hemisphere. For their up, it is your down, your up is their down. So which up are we talking about? Where is then this fellow called God? Because in each place, the up is different. So how can he be up there? In a way, it's a instinctively correct answer. But the looking up is where the mistake is. Looking up means realizing my own higher nature, up, my own higher nature. Within me, there is a demonic and a divine nature. And looking up means I bring out that up, I bring out my own divine nature. So that's the first thing in the highest of the meditation. Then when you and I are acting in the world, when we are performing our action, all of you already touched upon it. When I perform my action with a sense of offering, means what? Means I am here to offer whatever the best that is possible in this given moment. That's all you and I are capable of doing. Please notice. We may have so many grand plans about the future. We may have done so many wonderful things in the past. But in this moment, right now, this is the only moment where you can offer whatever you are willing to offer. What is that you are willing to offer at this point in time? What is that you want to offer? Matters a lot. Because in this moment, are you offering the best possible that is for the benefit of everyone involved in that particular situation? That then becomes the highest. Because highest, we may have a sense of, oh, one day, like how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa did, or like how Prabhuji is doing, one day I will also be able to do the highest. That one day will never come. Because this moment is shifting to the next moment, is shifting to the next moment, and that one day is here and now. Am I offering the best possible at this point of time, here and now, in the situation that I am in? Then that is the highest meditation. So in a way, what you see here is a mirror, right? And if I ask you, what is that it shows? A mirror, what is that it shows? What is the purpose of a mirror? Is something that simply reflects you, right? Its only purpose is to reflect whatever you are, however you are. It has no bias, it has no judgment. It simply reflects you and me at this point of time. And the world that you and I are interacting with is essentially a mirror. Essentially a mirror. What I offer to the world is what the world offers back to me. It is like an echo chamber. If I offer, you all have been to these valleys, right? Where you have probably played the echo play. You say hello, and 7 times hello, 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 hello comes. And then you say, hey, you fool, 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 fool comes. Then you say, hey, wonderful, 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 wonderful comes. So what you are saying is only getting reflected so many times. That's the nature of the world. Nature of the world is, it's a mirror. How you are is how the world is. When I one day I will not become divine, because divine is who you are today, now. You just have to bring it out. And as you bring it out, you start seeing that the mirror is simply reflecting that. So it is nothing more, nothing less. Whatever the impression with which I am interacting with the mirror simply shows me that. As an example, when I look at, say, somebody and their action, and I conclude, oh, what a dumb person. What am I doing? Please see. What am I doing? I am basically, in my mind, creating a feeling of dumbness, and I am imposing it on the action done by the other person, and I am getting into the judgment cycle. Now, that way, when I looked at that particular situation, first and foremost, it made me feel annoyed because, oh, I have to deal with these dumb people. It made me feel myself very dumb. Why? Because I am carrying the dumbness within me. I have a deeply held belief that, oh, there are dumb people, there are intelligent people. So it is this judgment that I inflict on whatever the impression or whatever the sensation that is coming, through which I am looking at the world. Then the world simply reflects back. World simply reflects back. So what I offer to the world is what I get back. Because the world is a mirror. So therefore, fundamentally, what Sri Krishna is saying is, it's a wonderful imagery. Please notice the image. When you see the whatever you call as the reflection, or whatever you call as this reflection here, it is simply, when you read it from this side, it is simply a W and a E. From here, it's a M and a E. So Krishna is saying to see the self in all and to see all in the self. And that's the most divine and wonderful feeling. How would you like to be treated? How would you like to be treated in any situation of life? Then if I'm treating the others that way, that is the highest. The way I want to treat others should be the way I myself want to be treated. And that's what it essentially means, to see the self in all. That at the end of the day, it is the divine only which is appearing as that, this, and all others. And the divine only operating in me as my consciousness, as body and mind. It's a wonderful, mysterious phenomena. It's like there is nobody else in the mirror. Only you are there. And the mirror is simply showing all of it. There's no one else inside the mirror creating all that image. It is you who is appearing in the mirror. So to see yourself in all. Self in all means what? Not your body self. Oh, they're not looking like me. Oh, they're not thinking like me. Not that self. Your inner essence. Just like how the mother sees the baby as, it's my baby. Look at it, the body is different. The thinking pattern of the baby is also very, very different. Some parts are similar, but most of it is different. But still, what is it that binds you to your baby? What is that binds you to your child? There is an inner feeling that this is mine. That's all it is. Nobody can tell you how it is. Nobody can come and show, look, these lines. No, nothing like that.
Even it comes, it expands like my team, my state mate, my country mate. And then like when we talk about human life, like there is that feeling that comes when something happens somewhere and people get affected, right? We like we do get that feeling that, oh, okay, so it comes also at different levels as we extend the boundary.
It is just becoming a little aware, that's all. When you become a little aware, even the slightest of the pain of the others is felt by you.
Mm.
See, your child, if your child is hurt, you feel it, you know it. There is no other mechanism needed. You just know it. It's just like that. It is just like that. When others are being hurt, when those trees are being cut, if you're little sensitive, you can feel their pain. You can feel the animal. You can feel everybody. So that seeing the self in others, and at that point in time, you need to see what is the best possible action that you can offer, given the situation, given your inclination, given your capabilities. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything in every place. But one of the things that you can always do, the easiest thing, for example, when you see an ambulance, what is that you and I can do? Maybe none of us are doctors, or none of us are trained medically, but all of us can offer a feeling of, okay, may whoever that is going there, may they find a solace. That heartfelt prayer is all that is really necessary at any point in time as a beginning step. And as I cultivate that offering and seeing the others and seeing what I can offer, sometimes I can offer much more than a prayer. Then I might as well. What is that I brought that I have to carry? It is something that is there for me to, it's a great privilege to be able to offer something. Please see, you and I grow by giving. Our growth is only by giving. The more I want to hold, it is like, for example, I sit in a room, I close the door, I close the windows, I lock everything, and I start screaming that the air is not fresh. Why the air is not fresh? Because I have locked it. What is that I have to do? I simply have to open the door and the window. Then it naturally starts circulating. The more I learn to be that's the symbol of flute of Krishna. The flute of Krishna means what? Look at it. It is simply a hollow wood. It is simply a hollow wood. It has by itself no greatness. But its greatness is being hollow. Because now, in the lips of Krishna, it can produce the most melodious sound, the most wonderful sound. And that is what Sri Krishna is prompting you and me to be. Be the flute of the Krishna, be the flute of the Lord. And when you and I are the flute of the Lord, the most divine and the most wonderful sound comes out. And that definitely makes you feel the most blessed. Hari Om.
And draw that to being full of thoughts is like a thick wood. And like when you can get them out, you become hollow. And then what happens is magic.
Yes.
Thoughtless state and doing.
Vijayji, I have one question.
Yes.
Vijayji.
Yes.
See, whenever we say that we are a reflection of the world, and whatever we give, it comes, and whatever that we say, as I'm mentioning, a person's intellect or a dumb, it's again a reflection of that. Which means, like, there is person X, Y, Z, wherein Mr. X might be very intellect, Mr. Y might not be intellect. Pointing out his dumb is also pointing me itself as a dumb, or what it is.
See, there's nothing wrong in identifying. See, for example, when you look at the 5 fingers, you say that, okay, this is a short finger, this is the tall finger. It is okay. If you have a particular purpose, let's say you need to pick something in a glass and you need a long finger, you need to recognize which is a long finger. Now, being functionally aware is different from judging.
Okay.
Being functionally aware means that I know what is the significance of each of the finger, which finger needs to be used for which purpose. If I have to go to in classroom, no, I will not say, ma'am, I want to go. So ma'am will not understand, because every ma'am understands this. Ma'am, I want to go.
Vijayji, I was just thinking of what example you will give. I was just thinking what
So it's look at it, by the way, there is we may be laughing at it, but have you noticed every child naturally brings this finger up? Do you know why? This is connected to your jala tattva in the body. It's connected to the water element in your body, this finger. So naturally it comes up. So this is not something that has to be taught. Anyway, that's a separate topic altogether. So like that, I have to be functionally aware. So that's what it means, Santoshji.
Okay, functionally aware, being whom to pick or whom not to pick, it again, it's come from my intellect. That is again a
Yeah, you need to, see, for example, when Krishna had to organize the army, he had to organize the army. He had to give somebody a chief of the army. He will not simply pick whoever, all are equal. No. That is not what is being taught.
I got it.
But I have the deepest respect for everyone.
Correct.
But I will not simply go and mix huli with kara and then say, oh, this is all the same.
Yes.
all the same.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, actually, even good question. I was also, it always brings up this, because when you play a manager role, you always get to see the different flavors. And the more I attend satsang, I keep thinking, okay, no judgment. How can I get the best? Right? And many times I feel like it's one-sided effort, wherein like you have this jnana, with the jnana you're trying, and you just have to keep trying. But at the same time, it's like you cannot neglect or um, drop them. Again, you have to keep the raga dvesha away and look at all in a way to see like how I can give the respect and continue with what we can.
Yes. Even
When
that
we are
is
in any particular role play, right? Before we begin the role play, just like how we begin our satsang with a prayer, you and I can always begin with a prayer. At this point of time, with the limited body and mind and the knowledge, this is the feeling with which I'm working. May the best happen in this given situation, because I do not know the implication of whatever the choices I am making at this point of time. Who knows beyond immediately, right? So therefore, rather than to burden, okay, given the best knowledge I have at this point of time, I have to perform. And that is what is called as dharma. Dharma means in this point of time, you have been given a responsibility. You see, just in the name of the equality, you simply cannot deviate from the role and the requirements of the role. Then it will create anarchy.
Correct. Yes.
Actually, another thing I've been telling myself is in the world where when you have for anything, when you have a range, in the range, let's say 0 to 30, every value is every value is possible, which means every combination of all the variables is possible, and so will exist in the world. And so I cannot expect only the best possible group or set of variables. Right? I will get to see all possible outcomes in the existence. Now, how do I coexist with all the possible outcomes? That is where the real test of jnana is. Right? Nothing is wrong, nothing is right.
Wonderful
Because
point you're making. See, the very fact that 30 is the highest is my own judgment. That is what is binding me. See, because I'm seeing them stacked up. What if 0 to 30 is on a horizontal surface? These are the different points of the circle.
Yeah.
I'm just numbering them as 0, 1, 2, 3. It is my own way of looking at it.
Yeah. And be it color, height, all ranges are possible. And right? And who am I to judge what is the right color or what is the right height? And so the emotions, all possible emotions, it's a flavor, right? It's a range, and everything is possible. And if I expect some, then obviously it becomes like I don't want the other. But it is a possible outcome, so it can exist. And when and when it exists, I need to have the right attitude to accept that existence is such, and that means I cannot fight that no, this should not be there, only this, because I like to have things like this. And so
exactly.
Yeah, these days I'll be driving, suddenly I look at all sorts of things happening, and I keep telling myself, okay, Brahman in full display. Something I like, something I don't like. Okay.
see that is why no, Indian mind is the most flexible mind. So ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ adjust ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ is very much possible in the Indian dialect only. That ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ adjust ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ is very difficult for a typical Western mind.
Yeah.
Very difficult, because there is a very, very cut and dry kind of a arrangement of the world. As an example, what color dress a boy should wear? Boy should wear blue color dress only. Girl should wear pink color dress only. By 12, you should have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. By 16, you should be out of the home. And how a home should be, and how much you will be earning, everything is slotted. And any deviation from that slotting causes a whole lot of infuriation.
Yeah.
So initially when I went to US, in about 3 years or so, one day for about 10 minutes there was a power cut. Okay. And not every part of the I was in Minneapolis, not every part of it, in some part of it. Next day, For at least 45 minutes, they were jumping up and down, talking about it. I was, Are, all along while studying, back then, no. Getting power is like God. So we were so okay. I remember we had a series of these lamps and mombattis and kerosene lamps. So playing around with them, and then different smells of it, all were part of it. Sometimes having dinner in that light is a kind of a wonderful thing by itself. No? So I was wondering, why are they so upset? Are here initially when I went there, no, I used to feel, my God, it's such a nice place, such a neat place. Even in toilet, you can sit and eat dinner. Like that neat it is. But then I realized that neatness comes at a cost. That
Oh, yes.
you have a lot of rigidity developed in the mind. So like that it is.
I also used to think at some point of time, I was like, I used to tell people I'm a perfectionist. I want things to happen like this, and like otherwise I don't stop. And it took a long time to figure out that itself can be the one root cause for all the disturbances, ailments I was going through in my body. And like later on realize, what, it took a while for me to adjust, to accept everything as is, and don't fight, don't reject. Yeah, it was I don't know, it was like a fashion to say like a perfectionist, and like I am, and I want everyone who are working with me to be like that, at home, at office. So like, yeah.
Shivaji,
No,
you wanted to say
what is your
something?
opinion, Sarvanji?
For
That perfectionist, because I am one perfectionist in my home. That's the reason I'm asking you.
no, as I said, right, yeah, so if I take all these as different variables, right, every variable is can exist. So it is like I should I should accept, why should I fight, right? I cannot say that only human should live, and tree or a dog should not live, right? It's just a different everything that you see in the world is a different combination. You take the basic variables and like make combinations, and then like you come up with one life form, and then change it and another life form, right? So why should I think like I am the right one and everything else is wrong? It's right. And same way within the human, you change the variables. One looks tall, one looks short, one looks fat, one looks thin. Everything is possible, right?
Correct.
Right.
Because
Yeah. One talks this language, one talks that language. One has bald head, one has this head. It's like yeah. So what I'm saying is like the way I view the world, right? It's now it's like existence is this, then like you see it that way, then you accept.
Correct. No, why? Because my wife always, talking about this perfectionist and all. She is in that way always. A lot of fight happens just because of that issue only. And she will never compromise, and I'll never go. And this what you are not, this you are not. And okay, fine.
No, but that doesn't mean like I will settle for some meager, medium or like low quality work. You put, I will still put my best. That
Correct.
I
Correct.
cannot use. I cannot
That is
use that. Then I deliver something. Then
correct.
we are
Correct.
into wrong.
Correct. That is always there. But when it comes to husband, wife, for a wife, so no husband is perfect. This is what I understand.
There is nobody perfect then. Not for a wife
No, no,
husband.
no. If you ask
That
me,
is why we are waiting. We are trying to reach that one, right? The perfect one.
correct. Thank you, Sarunji.
Yeah, it was a good discussion you started. It always happens. when many times when we are contemplating, try to apply for the real life at home, at work, and try to see like how is it. Yeah.
Yes. That is how, we can see some kind of, where we stand, what we can do it, what is
Yeah.
next course of action that we can do. That's the learning what we do. Thank you.
I thought Shubhaji wanted to say something.
Yes, sir. I had a question actually.
Yeah.
When we say to see self in all and see all in self, we do it most of the time. But there will be one person or the other which we tend to hate in life. So that is the last mile which we have to cover. How do I get out of that? That one person or 2% I hate the most. I am not able to apply all the knowledge. It's usually like that for most of us. So how do I complete that last mile of not even having one or two in life? There is no other. Yeah.
So, first of all,
Last mile effort.
I have to be most grateful to that person. You know why? Because at the end of the day, that person is showing what in me, that there is a sense of irritation, there's a sense of anger, there's a sense of rejection. So I look at the mirror and I only like to see the oh, nice, wow. But I may not be seeing this because it is a blind side. It's a blind side, right? When I'm driving also, there is a blind spot. And the one who shows me my blind spot, I must be eternally grateful to that being. So first is to develop a sense of gratitude to that person. How? One of the simplest thing that I can follow is every night before I go to bed, I can maintain a small journal called gratitude journal, where every day I can write one sentence about that person as a blessing, or one thing about that person to wish, and you will see how that magically changes, because it is not something that is a matter of theoretical exercise. When you do, you will know.
Turn the negative into positive.
Yeah, so that is it is not really turning it into something else, because when you do this from the heart, you will see something miraculous that happens in your life. Because it is not a mere statement that self is in all. It is not a mere statement. It's not it's a feel good. Oh, let's see everybody like myself. Oh, it's so nice. It is like all those dinner talk. No, it is not like that. This is the reality of life. And this gratitude journal is a way to realize that reality. Is a very simple experiment or a simple tool to you to come to see what is the nature of the reality.
Vijayji, in the gratitude journal, we need to write about that particular person every day. I need to thank him for whatever that has happened on that day from him, or how exactly it is.
So
He is a guru
you
also.
can see that individual, and in your heart you can thank that individual, and in your writing you can say, may over that individual have whatever the best wish that you can offer on that day. One day you can see them as being very joyful. Next day you can see them as being healthy. Next day you can see them as being very peaceful. So like that, go on blessing, go on offering the best possible things to that being, and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, Gigi.
Yes.
You stopped recording.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just want to add also.
No, I'm not
I-
stopped recording. It is still recording.
Yeah.
You want me
Okay,
to
but
stop
if you're-
recording?
Yeah, if you're done, yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Hari Om.